Alright, hello. Not really sure how we're gonna do this, so just gonna wing it. Basically, just like the title says, vintage RC restorations. My name's Bernie. I'm 42 years old, and I still own every RC car I've ever owned, aside from one, but we'll get to that later. And I'm happy that one's gone. I have already done two of them, and I'm kind of sad that I didn't video them because they're awesome. One is what is left of my very first. I guess I get 3 RC cars in the very beginning. I didn't start with one, I started off with a bang. I made a deal for one car and wasn't sure it was going to pan out, so I made another deal with another friend for 2 cars, a Hornet and a Grasshopper. And awesomely enough, both deals worked out. So I got the Hornet and the Grasshopper from one kid, and then 2 days later, another kid, I bought a Kyosho Ultima, which was almost brand new at the time. He just couldn't get it to work, and he melted down that manual speed control, go figure. And it's been mine since. But the one that I already did, I have already completely restored back to as original as I can get them, with all original parts. There's no new repop parts in any of these cars, and I don't plan on using any on anything that I do restore. I do, however, plan on in the future maybe buying a re-release. I kind of like the Hornet, so maybe a Hornet. And I am infatuated with really all of Tamiya. I love the Midnight Pumpkin, the lunchbox. I have a lunchbox. I always wanted a pumpkin, never had one, so I was thinking of maybe getting the re-release of that one. And that would be a great thing to do some of the new 3D printed parts that people are making. I keep looking away from the camera because I keep looking at my very first one of 3 cars. So basically, the Ultima kind of still exists. We'll get into that in one of these episodes. But for now, the ones that I have restored, unfortunately, I do not have both a Grasshopper and a Hornet anymore. I mean, I'm 42. I was 10 when I bought these. I think I was 10. It was, I don't know, 1980, or maybe I was 11. I was born in 75. Is 86, I think. I got the Grasshopper and the Hornet and the Ultima. So of the Grasshopper and the Hornet, whatever is left is right there. It's all back together, fully restored. My original Challenger 250 controller, Aristocrat, high tech. It was now high tech. And let's get away from that truck. My awesomeness of Grasshopper / Hornet. It went through a meltdown. One of the chassis was just completely annihilated. Nothing left of it. Both of them, however, were both pretty broken anyway. Like, yeah, there was one shock tower between 2 chassis. When I was younger, I had destroyed both of these, and maybe 15 years ago, I decided to try and make one out of the 2, and I mongreled this crazy thing together, and it was horrible and ugly and fast and fun. Wicked fun, stupid fun. But more recently, I looked at what I had done when I was a kid, and I was like, what the hell were you doing? I mean, you mutilated this poor thing. You have all the stuff to put it back to right. And I always said maybe someday I would do it. Someday. Today's someday. So the ones I've already done is my Hornet / Grasshopper, which is the car I just showed. that is what is left of both cars from over 30 years ago. And the other one I did is my Christmas present in 1988. All I wanted, I didn't care about anything else, and it wasn't even in the hobby shops yet. I had to wait. It wasn't until like end of January that I finally got my Christmas present. But one of my buddies had one of Traxxas' very first cars. It was called the Cat, and I loved it. I had the Grasshopper and the Hornet, and it was very similar. But I liked Traxxas for some reason. It was just something that I was like, I need to have something that they make. And they came out with a truck called the Sledgehammer. I didn't want anything else that Christmas, and I got it. All I got for Christmas was that Traxxas Sledgehammer. But that was 1988. That was 30 years ago this year. So, for its 30th birthday, it just got a major overhaul where I removed 30 years of hot glue and servo tape and decals that had fallen off, so all that was left was the glue residue. And I know when you see it, you're going to say, that's Blackfoot. It's a Blackfoot body, but that's because the original... Oh, Jesus. That's because the original Sledgehammer body, I had this thing geared crazy to do sick wheelies, and the body mounts are all spring-loaded. So the truck doesn't take much abuse at all, the truck itself. When you crash, the body, however, really takes a beating, and I snapped the bed off in 2 months off that Lexan body. So when I was a kid, I went into the hobby shop and I said, look, these Lexan bodies, this thing does wheelies, it's not going to last, I need something tougher. And the guy had a Blackfoot body, already painted. It is painted, but some spots aren't painted so well anymore because it's 30 years old. Especially the flames. The flames are terrible, but that's part of why I love it. The terrible flames and all. But the body is just the way I bought it, used out of the hobby shop to replace my broken body on my Sledgehammer. What I've ended up with 30 years later is exactly that. My Traxxas Sledgehammer with a Blackfoot body. Sorry, I'm taping this with my phone for right now. When I do some of the other restorations, I will be doing it with a better camera. This thing's just badass. I can look at this all day. So we'll stop doing that because I will sit there and just look at this thing all day. But my plan for the channel is to restore the many more vintage cars that I have. Quick list really can't be done. So I'll just do it this way and kind of look around the room as I go. Over there, and there's a bin over there. I think there's at one point in time I bought a basket case to my Falcon. I'm pretty sure I have 99% of the car still, so I think we're going to be able to get that one back together fairly well. I see a Stadium Blitzer. There's a Fox. Actually, there's a bin over there that is going to be way later on in the channel, but it's pretty rough, but there's a Tamiya Fox that I loved when I was a kid. There's 2 Aristocraft Dolphins, which I'm hoping to be able to make one out of, at least. And then the one that I never had to work right because I blew the differential every time I tried to drive it, and maybe I can do something with it to get it going again, even if I have to try and source out some tires. But I have a Marui Big Bear, and I love that truck. It was awesome. It was a little wheelie machine. So those are the things that are kind of boxed away or really, really in shambles. I also have a four-wheel drive Kyosho Shadow. Like I said, I had, when I got my very first RC cars, it was the Grasshopper and the Hornet and a Kyosho Ultimo, which I now have, I guess, 2 cars that I would consider to be that first car, only because I'm not really sure which parts of that car ended up in which two. But I basically have one that I have mongreled for 30 years, and this one's kind of a shocker of a car. When you see this one, that'll be a really good episode. I know, here's a little teaser for it. I know Ryobi come out with that new goofy 18 volt lithium ion battery, drill battery truck. It's been done. I did that when they very, very, very first released the lithium ion Makita impact guns and screw guns and all that. I had a buddy drop one off a scissor lift, so it broke in half, and I had a useless gun that had a great battery, and I had the base to a mount, and I found another motor out of another drill. I think it's like a 770 motor or something like that. I don't know, but it's huge. It's way bigger than the 540 can, so I had to, hog out the hole to mount the motor and the gearbox and everything in it. But it is that giant motor, and it runs off of an 18 volt lithium ion Makita battery, and the thing is front end in the air the entire ride. It's super hard to control, but it is amazing fun. And then the other one I kind of put back mostly to stock, missing a few pieces here and there, so we'll be doing an entire episode on just those two cars. One of them, everything is there. It does have a broken control arm from a long time ago, but I have much more than that. So that's just a little quick. I don't even know where to go with it. But I mean, really everything: RC10s, Lunchbox, Blackfoot, so Sideways. I have some newer things, newer to me anyway. Traxxas Invaders and RC10T3. I have over 30, 40 cars. I don't even know. I haven't counted, so we'll have to do them one at a time. But anyway, just wanted to give everybody a little bit of a feel for what I'm gonna have on my channel, and a quick little view of the way the first one came out. Like I said, I can look at this thing all day long. It's awesome. And this thing was filthy disgusting. 30 years of filthy disgusting. I don't know if you guys can see how clean and nice the plastics are now, but that actually took a lot to do. So, hopefully in the next episode I'll actually be tearing something apart, or actually maybe I'll probably go over these two a little bit more in detail, and then introduce our first restoration. Maybe that's what we'll do for the first actual episode. But I wanted to give a little introduction to people and see if anybody's interested. If you think it's something you want to see, hit like, subscribe, whatever it is. I'm looking forward to doing these, and I think it's going to be even cooler to do them on camera and have other people's feedback. Maybe you guys got some ideas. Maybe you guys even get some parts. Who knows? I'm always a sucker for that. So, yeah, I guess we'll see you on the first episode if you're interested. See y'all then. Bernie, later.